Okay, we've made a little bit of a mess here with the hose today on a nice windy day, just to show you some different infield conditioners and the different grade and what they'll do for you in rain situations. So we're going to take this really fine material first, and you can see how the wind's blowing that a little bit, but you'll also see how quickly it'll absorb that excess moisture there for us. This is a uniform particle size. And this you're going to be able to work a little easier with the rake. It's going to take a little longer to absorb the excess moisture though. You see I'm walking on it and I'm kind of making a mess. But over time, the thing with clays is that you got to give them time to do their work. Sometimes it takes 15-20 minutes before you're ready to play. The key to putting this out is, after you kind of absorb the excess moisture, make sure you don't have too much of the material sitting on top, because that's no safer than a wet field. Then all of a sudden, if you've got a pile of this stuff sitting and the players playing on that, they're not going to have very good traction either, because then they're playing on quicksand. So you have to make sure as a sports turf manager, first you apply this material, and second you even it out to make for a safe playing surface. So here we are on the approach to second base, and what I've done on this side is I put some water on it without rolling it, without putting any infield conditioner on, and you can see, put my rake to it. This hasn't been rolled, it's kind of loose. Now on a nice sunny day like this, it'll probably be all right in 20 minutes. But going into rain, that's not what you're looking for. Same amount of water, an area that's been prepped with the roller, with the infield conditioner, and you can see it's moist, but it's firm. So you can take a little rain. You can take the kids in spikes. So remember, going into rain, you want to be firm, and you want to utilize some infield conditioner. You'll play through some rain, and you'll have better traction for the players. Whenever you have good weather and you've got a couple days where you can really give it a good soak, go ahead and do it, because your field's going to play better if you've got moisture all the way through the soil profile. You know that before a game, you only have so much time to put water on it, so take advantage of the opportunity on non-game days when you can give it a good soak.
You know, at the high school and community park level, sometimes it's difficult, Larry, to water it the night before. So you might consider modifying your irrigation system or adding some zones, which would include some infield duster heads, which are heads that turn at a higher speed to give you a separate zone coverage for your infield skin that will allow you to truly provide good moisture management in your infield.
You know, Jody, at every level of baseball, edging's an issue. Edges are always an issue, aesthetically, functionally, for safety. One type of machine I like to use is a little mechanical edger. Nice sharp blade on it. Run that fairly frequently. So always remember, with edging, the less you have to edge, the easier the job is with your backfill and getting that grade back.
Yeah, the more frequently you edge, the certainly easier it is to maintain. And a lot of this is aesthetics. You want the field to look sharp and crisp, and you want straight lines. Sports turf managers take a lot of pride in their work. I know we do, and it's important to have those aesthetics. Other machines you can use are a sod cutter. This is a multi-purpose type machine. You could use this to literally cut sod, or you could use this to also edge your infield edges. The machine that I think is most popular is this machine that's got an L-shaped blade on it. The blade vibrates back and forth, and you just run the machine right along a string, and it cuts the grass right off the line and gives you a nice, crisp, sharp edge. And for maintenance purposes, you can always use the hula hoe. This device is just intended to just remove the grass from the surface of the dirt, and you can use it for a quick edging. If you don't have time to get the machine out, or you only have a couple of pieces of grass you want to remove, just a quick edge with the hula hoe, and you've got a quick touch up on your field.
We just took that machine edger with a sharp blade and scored a fresh edge for ourselves here. Then we took the hula hoe and we're just starting to get that excess material out. In some spots we had some deep roots, so we had to take the half-moon edger and pop it out. Now we're creating some work for ourselves with our backfill procedure coming up, but what we're doing is starting off the spring season with the edge that's going to be flush, it's going to be safe, the ground balls are going to play well, they're going to bounce well, the kids are going to be happy. You'll find your arc at first base has a tendency to get worn out a little more than the one at third base, just by where they play and the first baseman coming off the bag when he's holding runners. One part of your daily maintenance on these edges, especially at first base, is brooming out loose material and occasionally lightly hosing out the loose material that gets into that turf edge so that you can keep the dirt and the grass separate.
There's so many causes of a lip. That's the lip that forms at the grass-soil interface. And I tell you, too many times a big lip can cause a fat lip, or worse. Sometimes dental work is required because a bad hop off of an infield lip can do a lot of damage to a kid. So it's very important to pay close attention to those lips. There are several causes for a lip buildup. One is erosion, simply wind erosion. As the wind blows, material blows across the surface of the infield, and as it hits the grass plant, it will simply drop and form a buildup. Water erosion causes the same thing. As it moves infield soil across the infield, it can build up right at the edge. And improper dragging is another one. That's why it's very, very important to keep your drags at least a foot away from your infield grass. If that drag drops material into the grass, then you start to build up that lip.
Third baseman will do a lot of damage for you too. They like to stand right here, you know that, and they're just going to kick that dirt into that grass for the whole game. Especially at the high school level, they tend to play in a little more. So again, your hose can be your friend. One thing we like to do, even at the big league level, is rather than doing heavy power washing on our edges, is I'll just do a nice light pressure about once a week to heavily trafficked areas and just get down in there. Wash that excess material out and let it dry till the next morning. You know, that by doing that more frequently, you avoid having to do the high pressure hosing, which becomes a lot of work on your backfill. So the biggest thing on any field is, as often as you can, work with your eyes open, walk with your head down, see what's going on, and pay attention to all the little details.
Another great tip for keeping the lip clear is to use a blower. Use a backpack blower and simply blow the soil out of the grass dirt interface. Another great way to do that is to broom it daily. It's something you could have your team help you with at the Parks and Rec and school level. At the end of the day or into practice, just have them run around the edge of the infield and simply sweep the material out of the grass and then back into the dirt. Get the teams involved, get the community involved in maintaining these fields. It will make a big difference in your quality of your field and save you a lot of time.
We're working on stuff at the major league level in all the professional fields. Our first goal obviously is not to have a lip, and our second goal is not to have a ledge, so that the ground balls are coming off a flush surface consistently from the grass to the dirt. So what we're going to work on now is backfilling this cutout at third base here a little bit and showing how we're going to get that edge flush. So the key to backfilling, remember, is have good moisture in the base underneath. Bring in a little bit drier material, work it. You're probably gonna have to work it in lifts, do a couple levels on it because it's gonna settle on you. After you're done with it, roll it, soak it, let the sun hit it, and then come back and check and make sure it didn't settle too much on you.
And then after that, proper dragging is so important. The mistake many people make is to over drag or take the drag right over the edge of the grass, and I'll demonstrate that. What that means is you come right over the edge of the grass with this dirt, and that dirt right there is what builds up that lip. So it's very important that you stay a foot away from the edge of the grass and make sure that all this work between the grass edge and the dirt is handwork and not machine work. Machines can do a lot of damage in that turf.
We better clean that up right away.
We don't want to let that show, do we?
Yeah. So what you can do on your pregame and your postgame is just do hand work with the rake around all the edges. Just have one guy take a rake, whether he wants to actually rake it, sometimes you can just skim it with the back of the rake, and just parallel to the line, just use your rake in that first foot or two.
Get your baseball players to take pride and ownership in their field by having them assist with this maintenance. And sometimes it's just a matter of a little bit of education to show them the benefits of getting involved in the maintenance of their field, to give them a great field long term.
Hey Jody, looks like Andy's staying busy out there.
I think Andy's having a good time on that machine. That's Andy Parker. He's ground supervisor for the Park Hill, Missouri School District. He's our host for today, and he's doing a great job out there. He's using multiple pieces of multiple implements on the back of that machine.
Yeah, notice that Andy's going a nice, consistent speed. You don't want to go fast and then slow because you'll leave little piles all over the field. You want to find your speed and keep it and go consistent, nice and easy. You also really want to focus on staying off the edges. We've said that time and again today. We can't stress it enough.
You don't have to have the expensive machinery either. You can build a nail drag. So those of you at the community parks level and school district level, you can build nail drags very inexpensively with materials that are easy to get.
2x4s and 40-penny nails will do it.
I think Andy's going to want to keep that machine. What do you think?
Yeah, we're not getting it back. When you're putting the finishing touches on your field, you have some options. You may want to chalk it, you may want to paint it. What we're doing today is we're going to show you a couple different ways. The first principle to understand is you want to chalk inside the line. It's called the foul line, but it's actually a fair line. This is the critical point of the foul line. Everything over there is foul, so you want to line that up with the base. Jody's going to come in here now with the aerosol painter. We'll show you a different way. That looks pretty good. When you're painting with aerosol, you want to have a firm surface and you need to have it moist so that aerosol paint will stick to it. You see how it's sticking here pretty good. When I chalk or paint, I like to have the base in until I get to the base, then we'll take it out. Reason for that is, as I'm going, it just gives me a nice visual knowing where I need to be. And it also assures me that if somebody else set that string up, I know they've got it lined up, okay? So this all needs to line up all the way through and go all the way out to the foul pole. So here's a couple different options. Generally with the paint, you have to water first. The chalk, you might mist it afterwards just to set it.
Larry, we covered a lot today.
We really did. You know, really focus on edges, keeping that dirt away from the grass, keeping the edges flush, safe, playable.
And it's so important to keep that drag a foot away from the edge of that grass.
Oh yeah, got to keep it away. You know,
That's
we
right.
also want to be ready for weather. Always think a day and a half ahead with the weather so that you're going to keep your field firm. You're going to manage the water on it.
That's right. We didn't cover mounds and home plates today, but there is a video available that you can purchase.
It's on your screen right now, so take a look at it. It'll be a big help to you.
And be sure you pop this DVD into your computer, and you can get some PDFs at the end of the show. That'll provide a lot more information. Thanks for watching.
Sounds good, Jody.
Larry, one thing I learned today is that there's more than one way to skin an infield.
I can't believe you just said that.
I just couldn't resist. It was a great day.
Good day. Had a good day.